JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, police launch search for missing Clarendon 14-year-old mother and her baby. The police have launched a search for 14-year-old Clarendon schoolgirl Jamaica Brown and her 3-month-old daughter Davon Brown, who have been missing since Thursday. They are from Brans District, Moko, in the central Jamaica parish. Jamaica is of brown complexion, slim build, and about 5 feet 1 inch tall, while baby Davion is also of brown complexion and approximately 24 inches tall. The Moko police said Brown and her daughter were last seen at home at about 9 a.m. Jamaica was wearing her school uniform, a white blouse and a black skirt. Davion was dressed in a pink onesie. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Brown and her daughter is asked to contact the Moko police at 876-833-6154. The police 119 emergency number or the nearest police station. PM promotes teaching conflict management in schools. Prime Minister Andrew Holness wants conflict management to become a part of the educational curriculum. Mr. Holness, addressing students at Manchester High School on Friday, said that to aid the government's push for reduction in violent conflicts, there is a need to teach the principles of conflict resolution and management in schools. He added that it is important to ensure that what is being taught in school is reinforced at home. In light of this, he is promising that there will be greater collaboration between the schools and the National Parenting Support Commission.
Governments usually try not to get too involved in regulating households, even how they discipline children. But the social problems that we have become so challenging. They are now at crisis proportion, that the government has to be direct and instrumental in dealing with this problem of violence in a frontal way. We are going to have to incorporate the schools now to deliberately teach in the curriculum how to manage conflict. It is going to have to be a curriculum subject. The two-pronged approach. We will be dealing with the schools directly about treating with conflict and about dealing with violence and building peace. And through the National Parenting Support Commission, we will also be carrying this message to parents to see a transformation of our society.
4 men arrested in Manchester jewelry store attempted break-in. 4 men were arrested after they were caught attempting to break into a jewelry store in Mandeville, Manchester, on Sunday morning. Police sources say 2 of the men are from Rocky Hill, St. Elizabeth. One is from a Kingston 14 address and the other from Kemshill in Clarendon. The youngest is 23 and the oldest 33. A car and several house and shop breaking implements were seized, to include a crowbar, chisel, and hammer, among other equipment. The men are ages 23, 27, 28, and 33, a source said. Police said about 4 a.m., a team was on patrol when the men were seen attempting to break into the jewelry store located at Mandeville Plaza. The men bore a hole in a wall in an attempt to gain entry to the store. They were taken into custody. Further checks revealed that the men rented the motor car from its owner in Lacovia, St. Elizabeth. Couple murdered at home on Old Arbor Road. A couple was shot and killed at their home on Old Arbor Road in St. Catherine early Sunday morning. The police are still trying to identify the deceased man and woman and establish a motive for the attack. Preliminary reports are that about 4 a.m., residents heard explosions at 46 Old Arbor Road. About 10 a.m., checks were reportedly made at the dwelling and the 2 bodies seen. The police were alerted. They found the bodies in a bed in the board structure. Further checks revealed wounds to the upper bodies. The scene was processed and the bodies removed to a funeral home. The Major Investigations Division and the St. Catherine North Police are investigating. Cops launch probe after resident finds man's body in Clarendon. The body of a man was found by a farmer in Brans District in Clarendon Saturday morning. The dead man has been identified as 48-year-old Wilbert Sitaram, otherwise called Bujo, a resident of the district. Reports are that about 7 a.m., a resident was on his way to tend to his animals when he stumbled upon the body of the deceased and notified the police. Lawmen arrived at the scene and saw the body of a male clad in a green shirt, grey Nike pants, multicolored diamond socks, and multicolored slippers. The body was lying face down and had what appeared to be a wound to the right side of the neck, the police said. The body was positively identified at the scene and transported to the Meppen Hospital, where it was pronounced dead by doctors on duty. It was later removed to the morgue. 2 9mm spent casings were found while the scene was being processed, the police said. Police identified body of man found in St. Anne. The police have identified the body of a man who was found dead in Liberty Hill, Lime Hall in St. Anne on Friday evening. He is 28-year-old Romario Cross, otherwise called Bujo, of Clamstead, Lime Hall in the parish. Reports from the Sentence Bay Police are that about 9:30 p.m., residents heard explosions and summoned them. On arrival of the lawmen, Cross was seen lying on the steps of an unfinished building with gunshot wounds to the head, shoulder and back. He was taken to the hospital where death was confirmed. 23-year-old St. Catherine Mason shot dead. A 23-year-old Mason was shot dead in the community of Geisel in St. Catherine on Friday night. The man has been identified as Sava Fitzgerald, otherwise called Shaka, from Guys Hill. Reports are that about 8 p.m., Fitzgerald was having a drink at an establishment when he was attacked. He was found on the ground with what appeared to be gunshot wounds. The police were summoned, and Fitzgerald was later pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the shooting. Body of woman found in St. Anne identified. The police have identified a woman whose decomposing body was found at a house in Cave Valley, St. Anne on Friday. She is 55-year-old Gwendolyn Thomas, otherwise called Pamela, of Bottom Cascade District, Borough Bridge in the parish. Reports are that about 2:20 p.m., residents stumbled upon the body and summoned the police. On their arrival, Thomas's decomposing body was seen lying face down in a house. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue. The cause of death is not known. Investigations continue. In the meantime, residents have expressed shock and dismay at the incident. Evelyn Downer, a resident of the area, said she hopes Thomas was not murdered. It is just funny, said them find her body decomposing. That means she might have died sometime now. I am praying that she wasn't murdered because this is not a violent community, she said. She added that she hopes citizens in the area can have a closer relationship. I mean, if somebody had gone to check on her sooner, probably wouldn't reach a stage where her body is decomposing. It is just awful to know that somebody begins to rot after dying before they are found, she stated. Man stabbed to death during altercation at home in St. Anne. A St. Anne man was stabbed to death at his home on Saturday. Dead is Peter James, otherwise called Copper, of Main Street, Ocheris in the parish. Reports are that sometime after 7 a.m., James and another man got into an argument when a stone was used to hit the other man to the head, causing a wound. A knife was brought into play, and James was reportedly stabbed in the chest. The police were summoned, and both men were taken to the hospital, where James succumbed to his injuries and the other man treated and released into police custody. The identity of the other man is being withheld, pending further investigations. The incident pushed the number of people killed in St. Anne. Pushed the number of people killed in St. Anne since the start of the year to at least 7. Some residents have expressed concern about the number of killings. One woman, Marsha Johnson, said St. Anne has been in the news so often. Every minute it is like another incident, next killing. St. Anne should be peaceful, and it is not right now. Let the people might try break record with the killing, she lamented. Stabbed reggae girl died from blood loss and shock. A consultant forensic pathologist who examined the body of national senior women's footballer Tanana Clark in November 2019 said the then 20-year-old died from hemorrhage and shock from a stab wound to the chest, which punctured her lung. Clark, a rising talent in the sporting arena, was stabbed and killed during a reported dispute with her friend Rochelle Foster over a cell phone about 8:50 p.m. on October 31, 2019 at Limelight Plaza in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. A report from the expert read into the records of the Home Circuit Court Division of the Supreme Court, where the murder trial is unfolding before Justice Leighton Pusey and a 7-member jury, said Clark received 2 stab wounds. It said the first, which was inflicted to the left upper anterior chest, penetrated the underlying tissues and perforated the upper lobe of the left lung. The expert said the second stab to the left mid-anterior abdomen penetrated underlying tissues and ended in the muscles of the lateral abdominal wall. The consultant forensic pathologist said hemorrhaging was seen in the tissue of the stab wound. The report was one of several agreed documents entered into the records of the court on Friday, after which the Crown closed its case. The documents, which included the statement of the cousin who identified the body and the scenes of crime investigator who processed the scene, were agreed on by both the defense and prosecution, making it so that the material is accepted without those witnesses taking the stand. On Friday, Foster, clad in a white top and red skirt, sat attentively, unmoving except for the characteristic smoothing of her immaculate bobbed haircut with a well-manicured hand. The matter resumes on Monday, when Foster's defense team, comprising attorneys Courtney Rowe and John Jacobs, will begin making their case. When the trial began last Monday, an eyewitness, who was the first to take the stand, told the court that on the evening in question, there was an argument between the reggae girl and the accused. In that argument, the witness said Foster accused Clark of deliberately ignoring her calls. The witness said Clark responded by saying her phone was acting up and that other individuals were also experiencing difficulties contacting her. The witness said Foster, during the exchange, lunged forward and tried to grab the phone from Clark, who pushed her hand away. She said Foster, at a point in the scuffle, brandished a knife and stabbed the footballer in her side. The court was told that when Clark gasped, "You stabbed me," Foster reportedly said, "Me will do it again," and stabbed her a second time. The witness then described for the court the frantic efforts to get help for the footballer, who was pronounced dead at hospital. On Wednesday, the investigator who probed the murder said Foster claimed ownership of the murder weapon, but said she only had it on her person for protection based on where she lived and had not meant to stab and kill her close friend. Under cross-examination by Rowe, the sleuth said Foster denied being in an intimate relationship with Clark, whom she said she knew since 2016. JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.